Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be all about autism and carers. So before I get into this video, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications every time I upload a new video. And without further ado, let's get on to the topic. So, what actually is a carer? Well, a carer is someone who helps meets the needs of another person, whether that's practical help, emotional help, or just being there to support them. This could be a parent, a friend, or a support worker. There are many different reasons why someone would have or need a carer. So there is a very big misconception about carers that a carer is someone who very much is for people that cannot take care of themselves physically and help them to do things that they would otherwise not be able to do by themselves. Which, yes, is very true. That can be what a carer is for, but that is not solely what a carer's role is. Well, if you think of the word carer, it says care in it, someone that cares for you. So technically, all of my friends are carers to me because they care about me and I care about them and for them. But actually, more specifically for an autistic person, a carer is so much more than that. So a carer can help with physical things, such as helping you prepare dinner or cooking food for you, helping you to manage your toilet needs, or helping you to go out and be independent. A carer can also help you get dressed, give you your medication, take you to appointments. But a carer can also be so much more than that. A carer can help you manage with sensory overwhelm, with unexpected changes in your day or your routine, and just being a calm presence when things feel too loud or too fast. Being a carer is so much more than just doing things for the person. It's not actually about taking over their life, it's about helping to support them to be able to be independent a lot of the time. Now, I've had a lot of comments in my lifetime saying, but why do you need a carer? You don't look like you need a carer, you're able to cope. Well, I have a lot to say about that. First of all, masking is very highly probable in autistic people, especially autistic females, as we are known to heavily mask more so than males. And a lot of the time we do mask when we're out and about, and sometimes, yes, even at home, because we don't want to become a problem, or we don't want to make unnecessary fuss over things. And so, yes, if I'm struggling out and about, I may not say it or show it. And that is because I've been judged so many times in the past, or deemed as weird or inappropriate or unnecessary because of the way that I struggle with things, that I've actually learnt to internalise it and push it down, which in turn actually can mean that sometimes when I get home I shut down because I get so overstimulated when I'm out, or overwhelmed by things, or stressed or anxious, and I don't do anything to help it, that when I get home I'm exhausted to the point where I can't move sometimes. And that is the reality of being an autistic person in this world. So just because someone looks independent and can advocate for themselves doesn't necessarily mean that they don't need the support from a carer. Sometimes the most important support is invisible, like someone helping you to regulate, speak to members of staff. I mean, I went on holiday recently and I'd never been to this particular station before. It was London Paddington, and it's quite a big station, so I was in an unknown area. I also didn't know what shops were where the station platform was I needed to go to, and when I got there, the information about my train wasn't showing up on the screen. And ordinarily, a neurotypical person may feel confident enough to go up and ask a member of staff, do you know which platform my train's going to be on? Why is it not showing on the screen? But for me, because I'm in a new place, a new area, it's busy, so I'm getting overstimulated by the noise, and I'm getting anxious because I'm by myself and I don't know where I'm going, and my information isn't displayed on the screen like I was expecting it to be. I all of a sudden get so anxious and stressed that I can't speak to anyone. It just feels impossible to me. And so I'm stood there hoping that something changes on the board, or suddenly it gets announced where my train's leaving from, and it's about 3 minutes till my train's due to leave, and I'm panicking because I still don't know anything about where my train is. And yes, there were loads of people around I probably could have asked, but actually I wasn't really sure who the right person was to ask, and there were so many people, it was a bit overwhelming, and so I sort of got stuck and I froze and I didn't really know what to do. And that actually can be really stressful for an autistic person, when you think everything's going to go smoothly and you can plan it out as much as you like, but when you get to the situation and actually it's all going wrong, then that can be quite stressful. And for me, in that moment, having someone there that either was able to go and find someone and ask where my train was going from, or even just to help me stay calm and reassure me that actually it's fine, the train's not going to leave without you, it's probably just not got the information of where it's leaving from yet, but they will tell you before the train leaves. Well, I don't really think about that at the time, but if someone else had told me that, I would have been like, oh, okay, it's fine, and then I would have stopped panicking, probably. But because I'm by myself, I got so overwhelmed that I basically shut down. And that can be quite stressful. And a carer is also just really there as a safe person to help you feel safe when you're out and about. Having someone there to help me feel safe and just a calming presence can actually be really beneficial for me as an autistic person. So going out into the world, even just for simple things like shopping or using public transport, can be really overwhelming for an autistic person. There might be noise, lots of crowds, unexpected social interactions which can be exhausting, or confusing instructions. These things can all get really stressful and overwhelming sometimes. It's not about having dependency, it's about accessibility. Having someone to help explain things when you don't understand, and simply reassuring us that they're okay. That is the main responsibility of a carer. They don't necessarily do anything dramatic, but their presence makes the whole situation safer, calmer, and more manageable for an autistic person. They might assist with executive functioning or offer quite emotional backup during high stress moments. For example, the train situation that I just explained. So there is this scheme that I am a part of called the Access Card Scheme. Now I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. If you have a disability or a reasonable adjustment that you need, then you can apply for this scheme, and it has like different sections on the card, and you fill out basically why you think you should have access to each thing. I think you might have to send off proof of your disability or proof of benefits, I'm not quite sure, and then they bring you back this card, and a lot of places actually accept the Access Card Scheme. So I've taken it, where have I taken it before? To the theatre. I've taken it to this swimming place I went to with my friends. I took it to the sunflower farm that my friend and I went to. And what it basically does is it gives you access to things that might help to support you be able to be independent and enjoy these places stress-free. So, for example, it might allow you to be able to bring a carer or a +1 to these places. for free or for a discounted rate. It also might allow you easy access to toilets. For example, if you're at a theatre, they might be able to give you a seat that's got easy access to a disabled toilet. It might allow you to skip queues if you find waiting in queues really difficult, or being in crowds, or even just standing up for a long period of time, which I can really struggle with. There's lots of different sections that you fill out, and it allows you to feel supported in these places when you otherwise might avoid them due to stress or anxiety. So if you feel like that's something that might be really helpful to you, then definitely look it up and fill out the form. I can't remember if you have to pay for it or not. I think you might do. I can't remember. Anyway, that's not very helpful, but that's the scheme. It's really good. I found it really helpful. And yeah, it just means that in a place where I might get overwhelmed or anxious being by myself, I can have that person there to help support me and calm me and reassure me in moments where I might get stressed. So I know I've spoken a lot about carers and what they do for autistic people, but it's important to remember that if you yourself are a carer, I mean, first of all, thank you very much for what you do, but also it's important to remember that you need to look after yourself as well and care for yourself, because being a carer can be physically and emotionally draining. Well, there's a couple things I want to talk about. First of all, you might be able to get access to carer's allowance. I think it's something like you have to be caring for someone 35 hours or more a week to be eligible for it, which in my opinion is kind of a lot of hours. You can apply for carer's allowance, and that really helps. Just give the carer the resources to be able to care for the person themselves, whether that's funding for transport or buying things that the person sees as a necessity, then that could be really helpful. And also just have a look around, because I'm sure in a lot of places there's lots of support groups for carers, people that, whether they care for an autistic person or a medically ill person or a disabled person. There's lots of groups out there where people in similar situations can get together and talk about it and share their support, so that is really great too. So yeah, I'll leave a link in the description down below to the access card scheme, and also some information about carer's allowance if you are a carer and you think it might be helpful. So that's the end of this video. I hope you found it helpful. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications every time I upload a new video, and I will see you next time.